Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Virgo, it's High Priestess week. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail image, High Priestess week. What does that really mean, Cindy? Well, I'll tell you what it means. We're going to look into your superpowers and such, my friends. We're going to find out what your superpower is, like your strength, your greatest strength, what your kryptonite is, your greatest weakness, your nemesis. It's the thing that just keeps coming around in this lifetime, maybe over and over again, at usually the most inconvenient moment. And yeah, it does what it does to you is make you stronger. Like the nemesis is always like, oh man, this is the worst time. But you know, at the end of it all, you're much stronger than you were before the nemesis. And then the final question we ask in this reading is, what is your next assignment? So I don't know, I could probably call this superhero week, but I don't know. I like High Priestess better. And because, so we get the first card that comes out is a card from my Witch's Oracle. Wow, you have the Witch's Circle. That is I've very rarely pulled out that card. And the Raven and the Banshee. You're being protected. Very strongly protected from something outside of you. The Witch's Circle. There's at least you and 3 other energies that have come together to protect you in something. So obviously it's just an underlying card, not just, but it is, after the pre-shuffle. So that's interesting. And I know, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle this out and pull out a Witch's Oracle card for you before we get into the main questions that we're going to explore here. I'm using this Witch's Oracle because people often want to know there's more than one deck that's called the Witch's Oracle. So this one is really unique too because it has incantations associated with each card. So, but here's the thing. So I'm going to pull out the card and then I'm not going to tell you, quickly anything I get off of the card itself. But then at the end of the reading, I'm going to go into the book, tell you what the card is all about, and read to you the incantation, the powerful incantation. So now, figure out your superpowers and shit. We're going to use the Angelarium deck. Here you have Angel of Visions. Wow, that's beautiful. See, it's almost, I feel like there's a protective circle of energy around you to see something clearly, to receive something in its purest form. So the purest form, you know. So then, Angelarium, then I'm going into the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Wow, the 8 of Swords. Isn't that interesting? It's like a protective circle of energy around you to be able to see something in its purest form. And then, teeny tiny everyday witch, Knight of Pentacles. Then you can make a plan and move ahead steadily. All right, so let's get started. That's weird. I was about to say Arizona instead of Virgo. I don't know if somebody's name is Arizona. Somebody's watching from Arizona. Somebody wants to go to Arizona. Somebody knows someone from Arizona. That's so odd. That was just like the most random thing that ever popped in. All right, Arizona. So that's interesting. So, okay. You figure that out. It's for you. Witch's Oracle. What is the card for Virgo in this week of High Priestess energy? Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. Of course, Virgo needs to. Wow, you have Ceridwen's Cauldron and the Phoenix. It's like coming out of the fire, right? I mean, there's a fire under this cauldron and then the Phoenix rises from the ashes. It's almost as if some sort of magical alchemy has been taking place. Now, but you, because I'm seeing you as the flame, as the fire, the fuel, because what fuels this fire, right? That's what's left over at the end, that the Phoenix comes out of the ashes. So it's almost as if like this cauldron too is like just universal energy, and you supplying some sort of ignition source into that. But this ignition source does, like this can't burn indefinitely. So put a lot of yourself into something, like the fuel source, into something, into the universe, into the magic of the universe. So you've been participating in some form of energetic, alchemized magic. And you are the fuel for the change. Because the phoenix represents a rebirth. So that's a change, right? From one cycle to another. It's interesting. And there's like a new moon in that too. It's really hard to see. Which of course is a new moon. It's just like the sliveristy sliver of light on the side there. What do you have at the bottom? Wow, you have Merlin. But then the sliver of light is seen. But it's from the other. There's a waxing and a waning. But the cauldron has like a really, it is absolute new moon. Like you can't see really any light. But with Merlin, it is just like the next night. You can see it. I'm really curious to see where your cards go with that one. That's interesting. So like I said, you got to wait to the end for your incantation and such. I guess you get two, huh? You get two. You get spoiled, Virgo. All right, I just heard Virgo needs spoiling, Cindy. Thank you. So, your superpower, your kryptonite, your nemesis, and your next assignment, Virgo. Virgo needs spoiling. Hearing that. Virgo needs pampering, spoiling. Your superpower, my dear friends. She's the angel of death. Wow. Right? And then you have the phoenix as your witchy oracle card. So yeah, I'm just not getting all the information about what this is for you in this cauldron. I mean, this is where the magic happens. This is where all the ingredients come together. Whereas like, to me, it just feels like the universe, you know, and your part in it. Your part in it, and there's some sort of significant change. The fuel, the phoenix comes out of the ashes, so the fire has finished burning. So your fuel is, right, like that's what that feels like. Your fuel is no longer used, or it's been used up for some assignment, some project, some cycle. And your superpower is like death, right? After death comes rebirth. There's your phoenix. But this rebirth, again, because it comes with the cauldron, it feels like it is not possible without you using quite a bit of your own fuel, quite a bit of your own effort, quite a bit of your own resources, know-how, whatever that could be. Very scorpionic energy coming in for this. Your kryptonite, and this is your full-on weakness, honey. Right eye of wisdom. Oh, that's interesting. The right eye of wisdom. Logic. Being too logical. Because I just think of that. Like the right eye is governed by the left hemisphere of the brain, which is the much more technical, logical part of the mind. Thinking. Oh, isn't this, wow, this card is something else, this card is something else. Now, okay, I want to say that you have a very, your sense of who you are is very, like, factual based. Like the facts, honey, the facts. This is what I do, this is how I am, this is how I be. Like, that's very, and see, I'm getting that because that's the weakness, right? Like it's almost like the scientific analysis of who you are. I've been through this, I've been through that. I've strived for this, I've accomplished that. This is who I am. This is the result of who I am. Like it seems very logical, but that's your weakness. That's like that'll take you down. Don't stick with that so easily. And I also see it because this head is being sliced in two, and it is a clean cut. But on the other side is another face. It's weird. I don't know if you can pick that up. in there, right? Like, and that is giving me like the left and the right hemisphere of the brain, like how you see yourself, the wisdom that you have of yourself, getting caught up too much in the reality of who you see yourself to be. Because you are very changeable. Like, we're getting that here, right? Now, I don't know, like maybe, you know, this is a weakness. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is your weakness right now. This is something that is really pulling you down. Because I don't know that you're being pulled down. This is like, your superpower is some kind of end. And your ability here is to rise again. So it is like the 10 of Swords. The ego being completely decapitated here. I'm just hearing it because it is like a sense of a decapitation. And you know, okay, because being an earth sign too, you're so unique, your energy to like come into and read. And I find it fascinating because you're the planet of Mercury as well with Virgo. Now, I was sitting in the bathroom, where I was sitting on the throne, and I think about things. I was thinking, you know, there's two things that don't tell Libra this, because I want to almost put Mercury on them. It's weird, right? I pick up Venus energy with you. I pick that up all the time. And as a reader, it confuses me because intellectually, I know that you're Mercury, but I don't get that from you because I really get a really earthly energy with Venus. Like, and I like it's a very nurturing, right? If we even think about the 6th house, like service to others and helping others. And that to me is very Venus-y. That's not really mercurial to me. So, you know, maybe there's even like, I don't know, I'd be curious. Sometimes I feel like there could be truth or things that we understand as truth in something, and some things that are so like historically old, like astrology and the planets and the astrological signs that go with them. What if something was wrong, full on wrong, but it got toted as an absolute truth? And if it happens long enough, it never, like it really doesn't get questioned. I don't even know why I'm going into this with you. Why am I doing this with you? There must be a reason. Maybe it's something about, not everything you know about yourself is true. That's your weakness, your kryptonite. Not everything you know about yourself is true. Because I can see the Mercury a little bit in terms of like patterns and solving and problems. And you do have a very high intellect. But this intellect is very grounded into the earth. It's like a juxtaposition. And even this feels like a juxtaposition, like this shift in the mind. You don't know everything about yourself. Not everything that you know or you've been told about yourself is true. So that's interesting. Now, if you hear something said enough about you, it could even subconsciously become like a fact, even if it's not true. Fascinating reading you are. Yeah, I'm always fascinated by your energy because I feel that I really pick up Venus with you. Anyways, your nemesis, what makes you stronger? Null, emptiness. Remove all the facts. Remove all the facts and let the truth flow in. Oh. I mean, okay, that's amazing because you've got death and rebirth with the Phoenix, and then your kryptonite here, your greatest weakness is your intellectualized understanding of yourself. And your nemesis is perhaps even just this uncomfortable feeling about, you know, the conflict between who you've been told you are, or even who you've been told you are. Like you could have been raised in an environment that is completely opposite of who you are. You know, like you could have had parents or friends or neighbors or community that was just not not you. And I mean, one of the most obvious ways to describe that is just like someone who, let's say, very flamboyant personality. I'm kind of picking up like a Liberace, like a Liberace, very, very gay. And I want to say even like the old style of gay, like when my grandparents, like gay was being very happy and expressing that. But right, like, could you, like, I'm picturing like a Liberace born into a 1950s, very Christian or any really strong religious beliefs. And I'm picking that time period because that was a real difficult time for people, right? Like, I don't know, like being told that you're this, and then maybe even feeling like, well, my community doesn't recognize my value in any way or something. And then having to move away from that, like that is kind of like a complete ending in your life when you maybe have to decide, this environment isn't healthy for me anymore. I have to move out of it. And maybe that environment is healthy for other people. But then you find this emptiness here. Because I'm just saying this because it's a nemesis. This is something that you've been through before. You've been through this more than one time, where there is some form of conflict between who you understand yourself to be. The proof of who you are is, well, I know that you grew up in this community, and I know that you were, it's factual. It seems so real. But then you find emptiness because, well, that's not true. And in the emptiness, well, what do we do when we find emptiness in ourselves? It makes you stronger. So when there's vacancies created in life, when there's vacuum, like I always, interesting, right? Because you're creating the fuel with the universe. The universe is really guided by energy. And when particular energies are no longer around that could, even signify or be related to understanding of who you are, there is emptiness. Well, who are you then? But this is what makes you stronger, is asking this question, right? Well, then who are you then? So it feels like in this lifetime, you're really meant to ask yourself that question. Well, who am I then? If I'm not that? If I'm not that? Like, it seems like a question that you ask over and over again, or you're put in a position to ask over and over again. Well, what's your next assignment? Root connection. It is to allow the universe to flow through you, to show you. For universal energy, oh my goodness. The answer that you do not have for yourself, so you're going through something like that right now, the answer that you do not have for yourself, the universe is going to use you as the vehicle to show you the answer. The answer will come through you, and it will be shown to you in a three-dimensional way. So you're going to start the cycle all over again. Redefining who you are. Angel of memory is at the bottom. Angel of truth. You will remember who you are. That's fascinating. It's about discovering the truth, Virgo. The truth can be a hard thing to find here. Because of what I think I said. I really groaned on that one. She's, the truth. The truth. Yeah, because if one person in a community at some point in humanity's history, and I mean this would have happened many times, believe something to be a certain way. And maybe even someone was looking at their telescope and decided, Mercury rules Virgo. But no, it was Venus. They look at Venus and they mistook it for Mercury. But this person has standing, or had standing, in the community, in the society. So everyone believed what they said. And then the lie just went on forever. And here we are in the 21st century, still believing that Mercury is the true ruler of Virgo. Or I feel like it's Venus. There's something there about that. So we are born into perpetuated lies to begin with. And this is your story in particular, Virgo. Because if you're born somewhere, well, everybody's born somewhere. What if you're just like vaporized something, you're just materialized. You're born somewhere. And every one of those somewheres has some foundation built on an element of incorrect understanding. Let's not call it lies, because it may not have been intended to be a lie. Some things may have been, but just, misunderstood information. But you see, you come from the ethereal. There's no veils, there's no misunderstanding. It's just, everything is flowing. It is free flowing. So your assignment in this lifetime is to allow the universe to flow through you and show the truth. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Now I'm thinking, isn't there something that goes on between Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio? Where one sign was split up to create, and I don't know, something going on there. Something doesn't feel right. We're going to go into the tarot. So I'm going to do 2 cards for each one of these placements. Your superpower, the Angel of Death. Your kryptonite weakness is clinging on to who you knew yourself to be, I guess, from previous experiences, because you have the Death card. Your nemesis, over and over again, this emptiness, these voids to be filled. I think the key here, though, is not, and maybe this keeps reoccurring because you're filling these things with you're filling these voids with the wrong things. You're intentionally seeking something to put into the void, where now your next assignment is to allow the universe to fill the void. To ground it. For the universe, because to root connect. Wow, that's really fascinating. I do want to say, too, with the inverted pyramid over your head, it is almost like taking large amounts of information, energetic flow, and funneling it into you. Like you were meant to be this, have this null for the universe to fill it, to fill it in. Your superpower, the Angel of Death, the King of Cups. Oh, talk about Scorpio energy. Wow. And the 2 of Swords, peace. Removing, okay, yes. Your ego and your intellect are really meant to break down many times. And really, at each time this happens, it's like the depth of, I want to say the depth of your character, the depth of your emotions, the depth of your intuition, the depth of your love. This grows. Your understanding of who you are gets jostled around. Your superpower is, right after this, is to utilize your superpower, is not to use your mind here, right? You have the 2 of Swords. Be at peace with indecision. Be at peace without an obvious direction. Your kryptonite and weakness is the right eye of wisdom. It is the Seven of Cups. Illusionary success is what that card is called. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Trying to figure something out that can't be figured out. And trying to build a sustainable plan that you can move forward with on that. Yeah, that's a kryptonite for sure. Trying to understand why some things happen in life. It's honestly really getting answers, trying to get answers from a realm using the wrong tool within you. Like the emotional, the spiritual realm. These are not an intellectual place. Particularly when you're going through like a death and a rebirth here. Your nemesis, the emptiness. Wow, the sun. I knew that was going to happen before I picked it up, and the moon. This is feeling like you have everything, right? Feeling like you have everything. Feeling like you understand everything about yourself. Self-actualization. And then not. And then it's all gone. Wow. But this is also about like the rebirth. I'm seeing the the cicada or the dung beetle. Which one is it? I know. Oh shoot. The beetle that helps to guide the sun, protect the sun during like the sunset, taking it through the underworld and up again. That's there. I never noticed that in that card before. So yeah, you find yourself living out particular cycles where everything makes sense. You understand how you fit in that cycle. You understand where that cycle's going, or at least you believe you do. And then somehow things change. And when they change, you have to kind of find yourself again. I'm kind of picking up too that this could be the energy of someone who is kind of like ambitious in life and wanting to really go out and find things and get them and not waiting around. And I know there's something to be said for that, obviously, as well. But this is like a different element here of self. You can't run looking for yourself. You can only find yourself in here. Because it's now, because like your next assignment, now the universe wants to work through you to show you something. Like watch something come out of this void and materialize. Your next assignment. Wow, the Ace of Cups. And the Eight of Pentacles. Well, this is your next assignment is all about feeling good and working with that. Mastering that. Well, that sounds nice. Your next assignment is all about feeling good and mastering through that. Your superpower, right? You have the King of Cups. So there's something that you've worked through in this lifetime that's taking you to a point here where your emotions, the depth of you, is your strongest characteristic right now. And that's what the universe wants to work with in conjunction with you to create something, to show, wow, there could even be just even certain feelings and emotions you were seeking from things outside of yourself, and those things are gone. So what are you left with? This nemesis, the void, the emptiness. And even like symbolically, like the emptiness, like feeling hunger. Well, what do we instinctively do? Oh, I get up, I gotta go get some food. I gotta go find some food, right? It's the instinct to do that. Whereas the universe is almost answering back and saying, you're gonna fill it with the wrong thing. You're gonna fill it with something just to make that empty feeling go away as quickly as possible. Whereas what the universe wants to do is bring you something sustainable. Yeah, look, and you have the Six of Wands, victory. It's called victory or victorious? What is it? Victory. That's the only one. Everything else is in the reverse. Interesting life is, isn't it, Virgo? Teeny tiny witch time. All right, I keep hearing like pull a card for this, for the cauldron. So I'm going to pull a card for Saradrin's cauldron. The Six of Wands. All right, so it's successful. Whenever you've been doing, whatever element of yourself you've had to burn through here, you've had to fuel with the universe. Yeah, it's good. Some success. Your superpower. The Angel of Death, the King of Cups, and Peace. Oh, you have the Two of Cups. Right? The only way forward here is emotionally. Intellectually, this, I don't know, the course may not make sense to you that the universe would like to take you on. The universe wants to take you on a course that, right, is going to lead to some sort of just a big, like a new emotional beginning here. An overflow of feeling really good and building, mastering that, feeling really good. So maybe you haven't felt really good for a while. You have Death and the Phoenix. So the Two of Cups, the only thing that will really guide you to that is following the emptiness. Follow the emptiness. Don't follow what you want to put into the emptiness. Or don't follow what you think should go into the emptiness. Just follow the emptiness. It kind of reminds me too, you hear people talking about when they meditate, or they want to sit down and try to kind of clear their mind more effectively. And people that do like fasting, I've often read that they feel that they can clear their mind more easily. Like they're again like creating an emptiness. I'm not telling you to fast or do anything like that. I don't give any medical advice. So. Your kryptonite is your mind. Your mind. What you tell yourself. What you've been told about yourself too. The right eye wisdom. Illusionary success. The Seven of Cups. And the Knight of Pentacles. I think that was the only one. The Four of Wands. Wow. Okay. That right there feels like past successes, past wins, past celebrations, even perhaps past relationships have told you that you're a certain something, or you're a certain being, or you're a certain way, or you should be a certain thing, or you should be a certain way, or you should do this, or you should do that, or that defines who you are. But this intellect, this part of the intellect creates emotional confusion. You're really not supposed to think right now, Virgo. But I do want to say good luck with that one. That one is something that you have to practice, being Virgo. Because you do have a busy mind, and I do pick that up with Mercury. But I feel like there's more to you than that. That's what this is all about, this reading, isn't it? There's more to you than that. And I could be completely wrong about the Mercury thing and Venus. But it's just like, it's this feeling that really came over me in your reading to express that. And it's almost like to even just to kind of like really amplify this message. There's more to you than that. Your nemesis is the emptiness. The sun into the moon. Wow, the Queen of Cups. See, it is to fill something here. To fill it with water. To fill the void with water. And the void is existing mostly within the torso, but also in the head, in the mind. Clear your mind. Allow it to be reprogrammed emotionally with something the universe would like to program it with. It's not even programming. It's almost like retrieving, right? Retrieving, because memory of truth. There's some sort of knowledge that you are meant to reclaim. So your next assignment is the Ace of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. Temperance. This is where you will find balance. Master. So this is really about, okay, you're going to go into a cycle that you're going to be in for a little while. And this is you, because it's a very intimate energy between you and the universe. And you are basically learning to master these, I want to say, incredibly deep emotions that you have, and allowing them to be the new fuel for you moving forward to create a balance, right? You have worked through fire, I want to say. You have worked through fire. And it's interesting because you have this Scorpio energy coming up as your superpower, and that is both fire and water with Scorpio. So you've worked with the fire, and now it's time to work with the water. And Temperance would be such a perfect card for describing that. The Two of Pentacles, wow, the Two of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. The light just flickered. I said that, did you see that? The Two of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Seven of Swords. So balance, hiding a broken heart too, for one thing. That feels like that. The Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords. It's time to almost like, because the Two of Pentacles just feels like, you know, you're really, really busy. Maybe not having time to address anything that has been very, very painful. Healing that. This is a very healing cycle that you're moving into. Very healing. Oh, we still have to do your incantations. And you see how that was plural? Your incantations. So I guess we'll do the cauldron first. I need to need my glasses for this. Ceridwen's Cauldron. You know, I'm just being sassy when I'm like, you guys make my life so hard. You got two cards. It's kind of like, you know, the parents like, all right, we'll go to Canada's Wonderland, or we'll go to wherever. You're the one that really wants to go, though. It's like, oh, it's okay. All right, Ceridwen's Cauldron. Cauldrons in general are symbols of transmutation, germination, and transformation. How perfect with the phoenix. The belief that the cauldron symbolizes the womb of the great goddess arises from the concept that everything is born out of it and returns to it. Cauldrons have held a magical significance in many cultures throughout the centuries and still do. Ceridwen was an enchantress. Her cauldron is a familiar concept. Where was I? Her cauldron was a familiar concept in many pagan faiths and is considered to be the traditional source of inspiration or awe-in. Modern pagans do make reference to Ceridwen's cauldron as the holder of all the secrets of the universe and the place where wisdom is brewed. Shut the front door. What was I just saying? Look at the size of that squirrel, and Larry's upstairs sleeping. Meaning, you've been standing over your cauldron for quite a while, stirring up new ideas. It's now time to take the cauldron off the fire and put those ideas into good use. Wow, remember, stirring for too long over a high heat will evaporate the contents and all will be lost. Oh, if you think about evaporating contents too, like water. Oh, it's time to turn the fire off, right? The phoenix has risen. There's no reason to continue adding to this fire. Otherwise, you will burn off the emotions. Okay, you get two incantations. So I'm going to read it once, as long as I get it right the first time. But I I do recommend, if you want to utilize the incantation for yourself, like self-empowerment, actualization, to say it 3 times. Okay? A pinch of this, a pinch of that, all mixed and blended in the vat. No need to get caught in the undertow. Ideas are in place and ready to go. There you go, I did it. All right, so now you have the Phoenix. The Phoenix. The Phoenix is a mystical and magical creature with an extremely long lifespan. See, I get it, like, but it's born in death and rebirth, death and rebirth. In Greek mythology, the Phoenix is cyclically regenerated or reborn, associated with the sun. Phoenix obtains new life by arising from the ashes of its predecessor, the old you. It's a symbol of immortality and resurrection and reminds us that the end is only the beginning. In ancient Egypt, the Phoenix was also a symbol and metaphor for the setting and rising sun. Get the hell out of town. Your reading is off the charts, right? Your sun setting. And in here we have the scarab beetle. The scarab beetle. There we go. Bringing it around. But while it's coming around through the darkness, the moon will lead the way. Oh my goodness, that is amazing, eh? How that comes through like that. The sun disappears beneath the western horizon in a ball of flames when its daily journey is complete, so that it may be reborn anew in the east the following morning by way of a new ball of fire. Meaning, when you draw this card, the Phoenix stands as a metaphor for being reborn. This can either manifest in picking yourself up when you are down and making the changes that need to be made, or shaking off those shackles that have been holding you back. The Phoenix is letting you know that no matter how difficult things may be right now, you will soon be reborn and start anew. Are you ready for your incantation? Again, same as I said before, 3 times is best. I'm only going to do it once as long as I get it right. Okay. I will rise from the ashes, refreshed and renewed. The scars left behind can no longer be viewed. I am fit, I am strong, and on top of my game. All is well in my world, and my world I reclaim. I love that. I feel like I just want, when I say these incantations, I want to stand up there with 2 magic wands on the top of a hill. Maybe you should. That's how you should do it. Find the highest point in your neighborhood and stand up there. That's what I have for you. I'm going to go do the extended Virgo. In the extended, I'm going to look at what from your past still pulls on you. That could be interesting. Having the death card in the Phoenix, does anything from your past still pull on you? Let's see. That's an important question. What from your future pushes on you, like tries to push you forward? How does push and pull affect you, and how to allow all things to flow freely? And that, my sexy little Virgos, is what I have for you. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.